Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the third quarter final that has taken place. Ireland versus Australia should be an entertaining one. These two sides have gone head-to-head quite a bit on the World Sevens circuit as of late. And now we already know that it will be Fiji and that it will be Samoa, both making their way through to the next stage. But this game, if it's anything like the last couple we have seen, it should be a relatively close one. Henry Hutchison, Maloof, Lawson, Roach, Turner, Longbottom, and Turner will be in the starting lineup. That is Josh and James, the Turner brothers. Are they brothers? Not actually too sure whether or not they are brothers, but they are very good. So maybe they are related. Harry McNulty in the starting lineup for Ireland alongside O'Sullivan, Zach Ward, Conroy, who's already done a backflip in celebration for scoring a try, Mark Roach, Lennox, and Comerford, as the last man in the starting lineup for the Irish. One moment, we will go at this. Jeremy Rosier will be in charge of this one. Unfortunately, hay fever has just started to kick in for myself. I think it's from too much excitement throughout those last two matches. Both other games have been separated by 5 points or less. In fact, they've both been separated by 5 points. And now Ireland will be kicking off this one from left to right. Australia, the defending champs of the Sevens circuit. It's going to be kicked high, and Henry Hutchison takes nicely, but Australia getting themselves a big win over New Zealand in their group stage that really helped them secure the spot in the quarterfinals. Dietrich Roach tries to step his way through the defense. Didn't quite work out. Maurice Longbottom now gives it back across to Josh Turner. Maloof. And more on the outside. Nice inside ball. Hutchison goes back to Maloof, who gets back up to his feet in the process as well. But a good low tackle made by the Irish. Their defense has come a long way in the last little while, but that's going to be a penalty and hung over, says Catherine and Hamish. I'm back with hay fever, says Brandon. Now it is going to be a nice driving run from Maurice Longbottom. Gives it off to James Turner now. And Australia already looking to create a lot of space down the wings. Longbottom gets the pass away to the right-hand side. Nathan Lawson, one more to Hutchison. Goes across to Nick Maloof. And now he's got the man on the outside if he needs him. Finds the hands of Henry Hutchison, who almost went through, but it's a good tackle made by McNulty. And also Hugo Lennox able to go around the ankles. Turner, goes to Longbottom. Now off to the left. They're looking for the gap. Nice inside ball to Dietrich Roach. Ireland, they don't beat Australia too often, but this is one of those games that if they got it right, they could certainly go far in this competition. It goes to the penalty for Australia again in the first 1 minute 20 of this game. It does seem like they're going to have more of the ball. Wide cut out pass. Nick Maloof runs it in, and it's going to be the try for Australia here up against the Irish. And also 100% for Fiji. Oh, my God. Says Christian there. Yeah, very good win for the Fijians over South Africa. A good win for Samoa in their game up against Argentina as well. Those are two semi-finalists we now know about. But I guess the big question is who's going to be on this side of the draw. We have got this game between between Australia and Ireland. And then on the other side of this quarterfinal draw, it will be USA versus France. Could be a very interesting game. Adina Longbottom on a roll, says Catherine. He certainly has been. He seems to be definitely one of those players who have stepped up throughout this Hong Kong Sevens. The Australian bench, we're absolutely loving seeing him running that one, though, for Nick Maloof. The kick is just away to the left-hand side, so unsuccessful. Score will remain 5-0. Australia have not reached the semi-finals in Hong Kong since 2017, so maybe history could be made here for the Australians. They keep playing the way that they have for the first 2.5 minutes of this fixture. But Dietrich Roach kicks off short. Just going to manage to travel the 10, and Hutchison takes it nicely. Ireland going to find themselves doing a lot of the defending in the first half, although that penalty does go the way of the Irish. State of defeat. The comment from the referee in charge of this one. And Mark Roach looks like he will be kicking this one downfield into touch. First appearance and a Hong Kong quarterfinal for Ireland. It just shows how far they've come, though. We haven't had a Hong Kong Sevens in a few years, and Ireland have gone from a side that no one really saw as one of the big dogs to now doing very well. I think someone just came up my driveway. I wonder who that would have been. Now 3.5 minutes left in the first half, 35 minutes out from the line. That wasn't very straight at all for Ireland, but it's going to be all right. So they have been able to regather, or 15. I don't really remember the last time Fiji actually lost Hong Kong was 2014, am I correct? Says Kush. I know that they are on a 5 competition winning streak in Hong Kong. So yeah, depending on how long it's been since we have had those 5 take place. Now Roach going back across again. will be Ireland, who have got themselves a bit of an attacking opportunity. The loser of this game will face the loser of France versus USA as well, I should mention. So we already know it will be South Africa versus Argentina. A bit of a loose ball there. And Australia have been able to clean it up now. Wide cut out pass from Turner. It drifts forward. He's disappointed with it. He felt that his hands were going backwards. But it's going to be 3 minutes left now. The scrum feed will go the way of the Irish. Travel forward from the hands. The comment from the French referee. Yeah. That one has gone 3 meters forward in the air. So that is why it is going to be a scrum feed for Ireland. So currently they've only had the 4 carries compared to the 10 we have seen from Australia. Australia making 21 passes compared to the 5 of the Irish. So really not much of an attack being built for Ireland as of yet. But they should still have a decent crack going forward. Australia making only the 4 tackles. They've got 100% tackle completion, though, throughout the competition between these two sides in the quarterfinal. Loose ball, Ireland able to regather. Maurice Longbottom putting a lot of pressure there on Ireland as they get driven back just a little bit further. Now it's going to be Zach Ward going across. Good attacking run there from Aaron O'Sullivan. A bounce up to his feet there. Nick Maloof almost able to get the turnover for the Australians. And I have to say, this Australian side, compared to what we see normally, they are very close to their starting lineup. Whereas for Ireland, they've got a few new names slotting in there in the starting lineup. Beautiful offload. And now it's going to be the foot race. Connor Foot tries to break through, but a great tackle made by Maurice Longbottom to be able to stop the momentum. Now Ireland breaking through, another advantage in favour of Ireland. And I think this might end up being a yellow card for one of the Australian players who did try and kick an Irishman. Interesting tactics. Mark Roach now goes across again. It will be in the hands of Hugo Lennox. One more. Jordan Conroy for the corner. Right. Has he got a backflip in him today? He looks very calm, so I don't believe we're seeing a backflip. In fact, he's looking very angry. Right. Number 10, Nick Maloof. I believe he's going to end up with a yellow card here as he has tried to kick the player. He's saying, me? Surely not, but it was Nick Maloof. He is confused, but when he sees the replay, he will end up remembering that one as well. But yeah, around the side, Nick Maloof just kicks him in the knee. I'm not too sure what he was protesting for. And g'day, Amish. Cheers all. Cheers, David the Moore. Welcome in, mate. I hope you are doing very well. How have you been sleeping, David? Do let me know. Did you manage to get some sleep last night in between all of the matches that we have had around the world and also afternoon, says Gaffrin, and there as well. But now Australia, they might find themselves being down by 2 with this kicking attempt from the touchline. Mark Roach, brilliant strike of the ball, and it's gone over. 7 points to 5 now in favour of the Irish over the Australians. Looking at the way that these two sides ranked last year, Australia, they were number 1, the champions, whereas Ireland, they managed to get themselves 5th, which is why I mentioned how much has changed since the last time we've seen a Hong Kong Sevens competition, where Ireland have never made it to a quarterfinal. They breezed through to this one. They were top of their group after beating Argentina in their final game, making it 3 from 3 for the Irish, trying to make it 4 from 4 now. Kicked off long. Nice take from, I believe it was Nathan Lawson who jumps on that, but Australia only 5 meters out from their line. A lot of pressure there. Has to kick it. No option other than that for James Turner. Does get it downfield into touch. Decent clearance. And now with 14 seconds left on the clock, Ireland will once again have themselves this line out. Maloof going to be off the field for another 50 seconds as well, I should mention. So for a bit of that second half, there is a potential for Ireland to have a man advantage. To throw the ball in, Mark Roach. That wasn't straight. Okay, I guess it was straight. It must have just been my angle that I was looking at. It is going to be the quick tap penalty for the Irish, who are now attacking it once again. It's Hugo Lennox. Goes short side. Down the wing now. It will be another try here. I believe that is actually going to be... That was Jack Kelly. He's come off the bench for Ireland already, but he has been able to score his second of the Hong Kong Sevens. Yeah, it was all good. I watched mum and dad stream. They did a stellar job. Yes, David the Mod, they did indeed. I think they're a bit tired today, though. All right, I think Dad is sleeping at the moment, and Mum might be just chilling out watching some Netflix, if I'm not wrong. But that is going to be a great try for Jack Kelly. Now, big shot from the touchline. Brilliant kick from Mark Roach. He's the kind of player that you can put him anywhere on the field, and he still looks like he's got a chance of getting that drop kick over. So now with the yellow card and the man advantage currently for Australia, for Ireland, they have got themselves a 9-point lead, leading over the Aussies. Now, while it's halftime, I'm actually going to have a look at the betting odds for this game, because this one intrigues me, because I know Australia came in as favourites, but I'm wondering how much of an impact those 9 points on the board for Ireland and also that man advantage for the first little while of the half will sway the odds. So Australia, $3.56 underdogs compared to Ireland, who are $1.30 favourites. Australia, they are certainly going to have to dig deep in this matchup, that is for sure. Okay, Mark Roach. He has given the team talk at the moment. A couple young players for New Zealand, for Australia. I keep on calling them New Zealand, don't I? That is Tim Clements. Also, they've got Kai Oates, another young guy who's only recently been added into the Sevens system. And I was going to work hard, says Gaffron, and they certainly have to. If they want a chance of making it through to the semi-final, they need to make sure that they play well in the next little while. But Ireland sitting on 14 points to 5. Good first half from the Irish, even though they didn't really have too much of the possession throughout the first maybe 4 or so minutes of that half. It was the last 2 or 3 minutes that really changed the game for the Irish and got them into a dominant position sitting here now. The Irish still actually in their huddle, taking quite a wee while, maybe just having those last minute tactical plays that they're thinking of to be able to use out there on the field. They have got the USA flag there. Next game will be USA taking on the French. That is in 15 minutes' time. We won't actually be covering that one on the channel, as we will be setting up our next live streams that we have got coming up in the near future. That one will be one of which, Samoa versus Fiji. Huge game taking place. 2 Pacific Island sides find themselves clashing in a semi once again. In the last about 5 times that has happened, Samoa have been knocked out by Fiji. I just got back scheduled going back to it after this game. So here's Brandon. It's going to be nicely taken by Hugo Lennox. He's had a pretty solid game throughout the first little while. Nick Maloof, he is still off the field, so Australia is still playing with the 6 men. So the last thing Ireland want is for this ball to stop playing. Now, going to be Roach's brother at number 44 for the matchup. It is Tom Roach, that is. Now Jordan Conroy tries to go down the wing, wrestled down in the tackle by Lawson. Penalty goes the way of the Irish, and they will look to take this quick tap. No, they say slow it down. I wonder if they realise that by slowing it down, they're allowing the Australians to get back to 7 men on the field. Yeah. So because they're going to be... Oh, no, they are actually taking the tap here. So I believe Australia will still be down to 6 men currently. So smart from Ireland. I think one of their players, maybe a senior player in the team, actually did mention that. He said, wait, we're up against 6. Do not kick this ball into touch. Now back across to the left-hand side. Jordan Conroy down the wing, steps nicely. Taken down 22 metres out from the Australian line. Now, you'd like to think another try here for Ireland would almost... you'd like to think it would almost secure the deal, but I don't know whether or not it would end up doing so, because at the end of the day, it's always going to be a tough game up against Australia for the last 5 or so minutes. But Ireland going across to the left-hand side. Before this point, they had never made it to a quarter-final. They've never made it to a semi in Hong Kong. Can this be maybe a little bit more history made for the Irish? Back across is going to be Comerford. Goes across, wide ball, nice play, and then it's going to be Kelly in the corner again. And now Ireland find themselves with a bit more of a lead in this fixture. And also we have got the East, we're doing the same thing after the same-ish. Said Brandon, by the sounds of it, we certainly are sleeping. No, we're not sleeping. We haven't got any sleep till another 12 hours, somewhere around there. It was a tackle attempt from Maurice Longbottom. Fortunately, just wasn't able to stop the momentum that Jack Kelly was able to create. And at the moment there, Nick Maloof, you can see how annoyed he is because he went off the field and they have conceded 2 tries in the process while he's been away. That is going to be a misconversion for Ireland, now making the score 19 points to 5 in favour of the men wearing the green. And not talking about Australia's head coach. He has actually got the green kit on at the moment. Ireland will be kicking off this one, looking to get plenty of height on it, driving it just outside of the 22 of Australia. James Turner will be playing half. Now goes off to Dietrich Roach. Cross one more. I should mention that they don't have Corey Toole for this Australian Sevens circuit, which is certainly a player that they would have loved to have. He scored a lot of tries out on the wing, and a bit of a hit to not have him there. I think Ireland are also missing a couple of their big guns as well for this first Hong Kong Sevens, and I guess that is because it's a little bit of a in the middle of nowhere leg, I guess you could call it. The fact that the next one has taken place in early December. Dietrich Roach gives it off to Henry Patterson. Across, Dietrich Roach goes to Longbottom. Australia going to need 2 converted tries just to get back into a drawed situation. Henry Hutchison, nice inside ball off to Nick Maloof. Another pass to Turner, quick hands. Maloof again Gives it off to Longbottom, going off to the left-hand side here for the Australians. James Turner, he's got the man on the outside. Decides against passing, though. And on the ball, the Irish getting the clean turnover. And now Jack Kelly going to have the counter-attack. That was a big mistake from James Turner not passing the ball there. Now across, Tom Roach gives it to his brother Mark. Using their backline well. McNulty now down the wing. It is going to be number 14. I've just realised, where is Terry Kennedy? He's another Irish player who they are missing for this leg. And more says it was Gareth. And also next sleep time is for at 1 a.m. says Brandon. Now Roach once again running sideways. That is Tom. Tackled by Henry Patterson over the ball. Dietrich Roach gets himself the penalty. Slightly spelled differently. He's got an extra A in there for Dietrich compared to Mark and Tom. Now James Turner, will he pass the ball this time? He does not. He goes to ground, but that time it was probably a lot more smarter to hang on to it. Dietrich Roach goes across to the right. Josh Turner. Now in the inside, Nick Malouf gives it to Roach. Lot of pressure there. Conroy with a great tackle, but a great offload in the process as well from the Australians. Now Henry Patterson driving, gives it off to James Turner on the outside. He's got plenty of pace once he decides to run. Once again, he has given that ball away, but it's going to be a knock-on. It was in the tackle process, though, so I believe it's not going to be a yellow card, but it will still be Australia's scrum feed with 2 minutes left on the clock. And also, we'll use this guy. We prefer the older two, says Gareth. And there, I think they might still be sleeping, or at least one of them, I think, is sleeping at the moment. But yeah, hopefully we can get them on for more commentary in the future. And come on, Australia, says Vinny Arnett. Also, good day, Brandon and Gareth. How's it, boys, says David. Oh, that could be a yellow card here. Sean Cribben, I think they're going to have another look at this and realize that maybe it is going to be deliberately knocked down. A yellow card against the Irish, and Cribben will be off the field for another 2 minutes now. Only 2 minutes 7 left on the clock. Good morning, bro. How you doing? Says Gareth. And there as well, looks like they have a lucky in there as well, or a lucky clover, says Catherine. Although now that luck may have just started running out. If they can get themselves an attacking try now, Australia, they still well and truly have a chance in this contest. Going to be pushed in behind. Ball on the outside to James Turner. Backs himself for pace and scores the try for Australia. Now making the score 19 points to 10. Just a little bit of a comeback, like they're saying. James Turner, he's looking absolutely exhausted. He is breathing with his mouth wide open here. Just trying to get as much oxygen in the body as physically possible. But it was a nice pass there from the youngster, Coyotes. Gives it off to James Turner, who manages to score himself the try. That will be a successful conversion, was what I was trying to say there as well. So now the score at 19 points to 12. I have the mods. I have Hamish, or I have guessed what Hamish do all weekend. Then you will see, says Brandon. And then, good morning, bro. How you doing, says Gareth. A little bit earlier on, but now Australia, they seem like they've found their second win. Malouf has taken it. That's going to be another try for Australia. And literally 2 phases have just changed this game for the Aussies. They're back in it, and they've still got the man advantage. The betting odds would have well and truly, they were $10.60 underdogs. Australia, now they'll be like probably $1.80 favourites in this contest, but that is class from the Australians. Nick Malouf takes it off kickoff. Scores the try. Says, thanks very much for coming. And Australia now could find themselves sitting at 19 points to all. And also Shamrock, says Catherine. And there as well. But that was put down nicely from Nick Malouf. Maurice Longbottom gets the conversion with 30 seconds left on the clock. We are at another stalemate in the sevens, ladies and gentlemen. Kicked off long once again. This time, Ireland have been able to claim it. It was Harry McNulty who was able to get that one, currently just outside of their own 22 here for the Irish. A lot of pressure being put on by Australia and Ireland. They've been close to beating New Zealand in the past before, but it's always those last little moments that sometimes decide the game for them. And this is definitely going to be one of those moments here up against the Aussies as well. Now Jordan Conroy breaking the line. Good run from him, but Henry Patterson makes the tackle. Maurice Longbottom, did he cause the knock on there on the ground? No, he didn't. That is going to be the gong for full time, but they will continue playing for a little bit longer. Now McNulty doesn't have anyone on his outside. Now finds a little flick pass up to the hands. Oh, I believe it was Lennox. Now it's going to be available for the Australians. The draw pass, Coyotes has managed to sling it wide. Was it for? No, it wasn't. The referee thought about blowing the whistle, but decided against it in the end. Now Longbottom ball on the inside. Dunbar off to Maurice Longbottom, and Australia stealing at the death again. And they will be going through to the semi-finals right at the last moment. The Aussies have been able to capitalize from being 19 points to 5 down. They've come back and won it, and that will be heartbreak for Ireland. And I was like, good man, hope you're well, mate. Says David the Mod, and there as well. But Australia just leaving a little bit late to win this game, you would have to say. But they have done well. Maurice Longbottom has once again been one of those key players. And says Gaffron. There as well. He did a little fist bump for Maurice Longbottom as well. And also, yes, he's very busy, says Brandon. Oh, sorry, says David. And there as well. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Australia able to make their way through to the semi-final now. And also, I should mention that they will be facing off against the winner of France versus USA. And bloody Aussie, says David the Mod. And there as well. But 26 points to 19, the end score in this contest. The next one that we have got, I believe, is one of the semi-finals. In fact, it might be the 5th place playoff game between Argentina and South Africa, I think, is going to be our next match that we have got coming up on the channel. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you do enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.